name is Naomi Sommer. I live in Ra'anana, Israel. First of all I have to say, sorry, I'm not a public speaker. I have to say it is more than overwhelming to have a room full of all these wonderful and supporting people. I couldn't thank you enough, and I'm glad that we are not alone. Especially now, when it's more important than ever. With your Twitter feeds full of free Palestine statements, when your Facebook is flooded with pictures of Gaza civilians, with media storming with bits and pieces of the truth, and never a full picture, feeling like the whole world is turned against you, but knowing all your people want is justice and peace, that the people of your state are giving their dearest children to the army, and praying they will come home safe. That people come with full trucks of food and supplies for our dearest soldiers, with the Israeli social media campaigning for the truth, battling for it to be revealed. Someone told me once, there is only one truth, with so many perspectives on it. Living in Israel has its ups and downs. Is it easy? Not always. Is it stressful? Sometimes. Is it safe? You wouldn't think so at first, but when you remember the IDF is one of the strongest armies in history, it is. I'm 15 years old. I've lived through the Second Lebanon War and other various operations the IDF has gone through. I don't go to school in my small town, but in the larger city of Ramat HaSharon, right next to the Tel Aviv border. This, and also the fact that I consider myself active on social media, made me close with new friends all around the country, north to south. Jerusalem, Ashkelon, Haifa, Tel Aviv, as well as the Gaza Strip. With that said, I've only heard real sirens a couple times in my life. The beginning of the last school year in Israel, when there's a chance of rockets in certain areas of the state, schools and other institutions have a practice drill when all students and faculty enter the shelters, or in our case, the safest room in the facility to be prepared for a real-life situation. So back in 2013, my school held one. We were in the middle of the class when the sirens went off. Everyone casually left their seats and left the room, heading toward the nearby building. In a slow pace, without pressure. This ritual happens every 6 months or so regularly. And when our homeroom teacher actually warned us that things might get problematic that weekend, no one took it seriously. Little did we know that weekend, rockets reached Tel Aviv, and some of my friends experienced real sirens, real-life risk for the first time. The next Sunday back in school, sirens were heard during the second class period. As we headed to the shelters again, it was pretty much chaotic. We were running into the building, the entrance clogging up with students as we tried to enter the small room. It wasn't fun, but knowing the Iron Dome and the idea are protecting us was the only thing we could hold on to. And what we experienced that day is what people in the Gaza Strip experience every day. Living under constant threat, having your parents and older brothers called back into the army, having rockets flying over you, fearing to go on a public bus. All is hard. All needs to stop. And thanks to the IDF and thanks to people like you here today, we have hope for it to stop.